Hey, good morning. Let's have a nerdy conversation real quick. The psychology of the world of the X-Men is something I find extremely interesting. In our world, we have racism to deal with. Now, whether you want to admit racism exists or not, it does. The concept of whiteness, the idea of whiteness, was created by the Portuguese as a class system with lighter skin or white skinned people at the top and darker skin or black people at the bottom. Then Europeans created racism as justification for the mistreatment, enslavement, and genocide of non-white peoples the world over. So in our world, people can say things like, "You know she's dating James, right?" And they'll respond, "Well, at least he's not black." But in the world of the X-Men, there's an added element there. You can say things like, "You know she's dating that black dude, James." And they'll be like, "Well, at least he's not a mutant." And that's the world the X-Men live in, where people on the bottom now have someone lower than them to look down upon. And all of humanity unites as one, the human race, the human species, against another species of human, mutants. And in that world, you have mutants who can pass for humans. We'd call them passé blanc, passing for white, like Professor Xavier, Storm, or Jubilee. And also in that world, you have mutants who can't pass for human, like Beast, Nightcrawler, and the Morlocks. They can't hide their mutantness because their skin, like ours, is their sin. And just like in our world with race, in theirs with mutantness, there are systems of oppression in place to keep them in positions of second and third class citizens. And that's the world that Charles Xavier was born into. A world of not only racial inequality, but human and mutant inequality. You see, Xavier grew up rich in Westchester, New York, and his powers didn't manifest until after the death of his father, when he read the mind of his stepfather and learned that his stepfather could have saved his father's life. And from that moment on, Charles Xavier was privy to the darkest parts of humanity because he could hear all the evil and mean things people say about each other and themselves, because he could actually see into their hurt, into their pain, and identify it. See, he knew why hurting people hurt people. And that made him compassionate towards humanity. Now, Xavier's just not a powerful telepath who can read the minds of humans and mutants, but he can read the minds of any living thing, including animals. He can perceive the world from their point of view. His telepathy is so powerful that it can manifest itself physically, and he can hit you with a thought. Xavier's abilities are so powerful that he can make you see things that aren't there, make you feel things that aren't there. He can paralyze you on one side, both sides. He can lock you in your mind and not let you out. He can rewrite your mind and make you think you're somebody else. He did it to Wolverine, and even with Wolverine's regenerative powers, it still took several years in order for his brain to reset. So if he wanted to, Xavier could have you thinking you a chicken for the next 50 years until you come back to yourself. Not only that, he could read the minds of anybody in his vicinity, and if he wanted to, he could take away your powers, and you could do nothing about it. And because of his psychic abilities, he has eidetic memory. He remembers everything. He's a genius. He has a PhD in every ology on the face of the earth, and he invented Cerebro, a machine to amplify his powers so that he can read the minds of every living being on the face of the earth. Professor Xavier's a bad man. That's why I want Giancarlo Esposito to play him in the movie, because he'll bring that level of intensity to Professor Xavier that's been missing on screen. When I watch Giancarlo Esposito, Professor Xavier exists in the moment he stops smiling and starts scowling. That split second where he goes from this, that I can't do it, but that split second where he goes from a smile, that grin that he has, to right before he starts scowling, that moment, that's Charles Xavier. Because when Xavier looks at you, He just doesn't look at you. He looks through you. He looks beyond your soul into all of your memories, and he gets to the core of that one moment that made you the person who you are today. And Giancarlo Esposito has that look, that I can't even put my name on it, but he has that Xavier's missing. And let's not forget that Charles Xavier has a dark side that he keeps under wraps. It's so powerful that once in the cartoons, when he was knocked unconscious, it manifested itself and damn near killed all the X-Men. And if all else fails and you really just want a white dude to play Professor Charles Xavier, you've always got Timothy Dalton.